Guys, he hasn't done a podcast in a year, so don't judge me for talking about whatever the hell I want to talk about.
Just go for it.
I was lucky. I got so lucky. I found a lady that was buying and flipping over 100 houses a year. And I sold her 70 deals. I made like $1.2 million.
Holy smokes.
You guys have been too busy lending out money, bro. So you guys will do $700-800 million this next 12 months. That's incredible.
Thank you, man.
I buy more real estate from my students than I ever bought on my own. Like I bought $100 million in real estate from students last year.
Wow.
No matter how much you read about water, it will never teach you how to swim. You could read all the books, go to all the seminars, take all the courses, but until somebody actually throws you to the deep end, you're not gonna learn how to swim.
3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not done a podcast in over a year, but today we're rolling out the red carpet for the one and only Pace Morby.
You guys have been too busy lending out money, bro. You guys will do $700-800 million this next 12 months. That's incredible.
Thank you, man. We have been busy pumping out loans, doing deals. Took a break just because, honestly, there's a lot more money in the actual real estate business for us, at least.
Yeah.
We missed doing the podcast. There was a ton of value, not only for the audience, but for us to learn from people like you. So
yeah, you get it. The cool thing about a podcast is you get to meet new people, and like busy guys like you and your partner and your team, you don't have a lot of time to go grab coffee. Yeah. Right. So it's like a podcast really checks that box where you can get to know people and simultaneously give some value to your audience as well.
Yeah, I love that.
By the way, guys, everybody in the audience, this operation that these guys are running is top notch, great culture, great product, great everything else. And that should tell you something about the people that you are watching, is that they know what they're doing. They're not full of crap, because there's a lot of people I stop by that are just full of fugazi. You guys are awesome, man. What you guys are doing is really cool.
Thanks, man. Praise the Lord. Thank you. All right, so let's dive into it. Pace, if the people don't know you, can you just give a little background on who you are?
Yeah, I used to be a contractor for a long time, came from a family of 12 kids, and my dad was a contractor, so what did I end up doing? I ended up being a contractor, and had somebody when I was 30, probably about 5 years older than where you are right now. When I was 30, I had a lady come and change my life and showed me how to get my first deal. And I got so obsessed with that transformation of not just flipping houses, but flipping people. This lady flipped me, right? She completely flipped me into a full-on, she renovated me like she would a house. Wow. And I had a full transformation and walked into a new life, which was understanding how to get into real estate deals with no money. And then I passed the torch to somebody else. I got obsessed with it. I got that helper's high that you get, you know? You feel that the word purpose when you help somebody else out. Yeah. And I got so obsessed with it that I started building a real estate community that all follows the same core values. And that real estate community has now grown to 30,000 people strong. And now I buy more real estate from my students than I ever bought on my own, which is actually the best acquisition model you could ever imagine. Like I bought $100 million in real estate from students last year. So I teach you how to go find deals. I buy those deals in excess of $100 million in a year, and I didn't have to pick up a phone call. It's kind of cool.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So 30,000 strong right now.
Yeah.
Going back to this lady that changed your life, what did she teach you?
She told me a great quote, and the quote she told me was, "No matter how much you read about water, it will never teach you how to swim." I was like, wait, what? She says, no matter how much you read about water, it will never teach you how to swim. And I didn't know what that meant until she applied it to real estate. She said, you could read all the books, go to all the seminars, take all the courses, but until somebody actually throws you to the deep end, you're not going to learn how to swim. Yeah. And I said, but you know, jumping in the deep end is hard, like cold calling and doing these things. I don't know how to comp. I don't know I don't even know what the acronym ARV stands for, but people say it all the time. I have no idea. Yeah. I was 30 at the time, so this is now 12 years ago. And what she did is she said, pull out your phone. I'm going to throw you in the deep end. And she made me pull out my phone, and she made me go to a website and spend money on mailers, which I don't use mailers now, but at the time, 12 years ago, mailers and postcards, all that kind of stuff. So she makes me spend $5,000.
Right there on the spot.
Right there on the spot. Now, where this lady came from is somewhat important. I was her contractor, so I was flipping her houses for her. And then on the third house, she says to me, why aren't you in real estate? And I go, I'm in real estate. Look at me. I'm a contractor. She's like, no. You are a slave to my real estate business. I am in real estate. You are not. Wow. You are a service provider to someone who is in real estate. And she goes, do you know what a notary is? I go, yeah, I know what a notary is. She goes, would you say that they're in real estate? I go, no, they are a service provider. She goes, that's you. You're just as important to this transaction as a notary. I could replace you with a Google search.
Wow.
What? Lady dropped bombs on me, dude. It was just punching me right in the gut.
Holy smokes.
She was good, man. She was really good. She was mean and sassy, and it's what I needed. At the age of 30, I needed a wake-up call.
Yeah.
And I just recently gone through like an early midlife crisis where I'm turning 30. Seems old at the time. Now I look back at 30, I'm like, that's the youngest I would ever go back to. I'd never go back previous to 20. Like I would never go back to my 20s. It was horrible. I was going through this thing where I told my friends, I go, we're turning 30. Let's go do something cool. So I invited my friends to go play Torrey Pines golf course in SoCal. We go out there, we play day one, then day two pops up and they're all like kind of lollygagging, not getting ready to go play golf. I go, guys, we have a tee time at 9:00. Oh yeah, we're thinking we're not going to go play. Why? Come to find out, they don't have the money. I'm at 30. I'm 30 years old, and my friends that are like my diehard friends can't even afford to play golf 2 days in a row. And they're like, let's just go down and hang out on the beach. I'm like, 4 dudes are not hanging out on the beach, dude. Let's go play golf. So I pay for their day 2. I pay for their day 3. And on day 4, I'm like, I'm flying home. I can't hang out with you guys. I realized in that moment, I just didn't have anybody in my life that was pushing me, showing me options, new ways of making money. I mean, even at your level and my level, I meet new people. Like I had lunch with Gary Vee this morning, and I was with Gary Vee, and in 45 minutes of spending time with him, he made me feel like I wasn't thinking big enough, right? I didn't have any of that at that age. Bethany then comes into my life like 3 months later. She says, spend $5,000 on your phone right now. And I spend $5,000. Leads start coming in like in a week. I have no idea what to do with these leads. So she says, call me when you get a lead. I'll go on the appointment with you. And so she just started going on appointments with me. She'd fill out the paperwork. She'd comp the property. And I sold her 70 deals in my first year, 70 deals. I made like $1.2 million.
You wholesaled 70 deals to her?
Yep, I wholesaled 70 deals to her in my first year. Like think about it. She's my only buyer. I didn't even know how to find buyers. Right? Like now, like if you're wholesaling.
Holy smokes.
One of the top questions people ask all the time is like, so how do I get started in real estate? And I go, find a buyer, because you're not going to buy the first deal you acquire. You're going to assign it to somebody else. Go find a buyer that's credible, right? And so I was lucky. I got so lucky. I found a lady that was buying and flipping over 100 houses a year. She was a gangster. And she was pushing really hard at that point in her life because she was trying to retire, like be done. So she'd flip 70, she'd keep 30 every single year, right? And that was her model. She built a portfolio large enough that she went and retired. And that was my last year, or her last year in the business was my first year with her. And so she calls me up a year later, and I've made like $1.2 million. And I'm like,
just wholesaling right to her.
Yep. And I was a contractor too for like Open Door, OfferPad, and Zillow.
Oh, wow.
So I was making really good money. I was taking home $1 million a year back then.
Heck yeah.
But as a contractor.
Yeah.
So anyway, she retires and I go, oh crap, like what do I do now? I had no idea where to find buyers. So I run into a guy named Jamil Damji. I don't know if you follow him.
Yeah, I know Jamil.
And Jamil buys 150 deals with me that following year.
Partners up with you.
I just kept.
You kept wholesaling it to
so
Jamil.
I'd make like 30 grand. He'd pop them for $5,000. So I'd bring a deal to him. I'm direct to seller, right? And I'm in the living room. I'm the one getting the contracts. I'd send him over to Jamil. I still have no idea how to find buyers myself.
Was it the Astro flipping? Yeah.
He's just popping. He's just finding his buyers. He's got his own buyers list, and he's making $5,000.
Yeah.
I think that first year, him and I worked together. He made $600,000 just co-wholesaling my stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and then a couple of years.
And you're a one-man show at this point.
Me and my wife, right? My wife started becoming my TC because I just was like
slinging deals all day.
I'm doing 10 deals a month, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing 2 deals, 3 deals a week, and I'm in 3 or 4 appointments every single day. And I had no idea how to do outbound cold calling. I had no idea how to I just spent money on postcards and mailers. And
no CRM, just hitting your phone.
No CRM. I didn't have a CRM until 2018, so this was 6 years later.
People are just hitting your phone. You're answering the phone. You're going on an in-person appointment. You're locking up a contract. Just old school hustling.
Yeah, and I learned that I was doing it all wrong at the time. My wife goes, hey, we don't have any files to TC. I'm all caught up on transaction coordination. How can I help out on the acquisition side? And I go, well, maybe you could help out on the follow-up. So at the time I was doing like 7-8 contracts a month on my own. And she goes into my CRM was basically a Google Drive link. And I was just going through Google Sheets. And as the leads came in, I just popped them in there just chronologically. And then I would segment them by the month. I'd get about 2 calls a day. So only about 60 leads a month. They're inbound. So I didn't have to do a lot of like lead management. So my wife then started going back the last 30 days and calling everybody I went to appointments with and said, hey, I noticed that you sold the house to somebody else other than my husband. My name is Laura. You met my husband a couple of weeks ago. Why didn't you sell the house to my husband? And they were like, he never followed up. Because I was literally just going to the next appointment, pulling the easiest hanging fruit on the planet. So my wife started doing follow-up and transaction coordination for me. And in 2018, I then was like, oh, I should maybe learn how to do this. Was 7 years ago. And then I got a good partner, got some good team members, and I scaled out of the business in less than 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And then COVID hit, and I started buying a lot more. I started doing tons of acquisition outside of state. So apartment buildings, RV parks, mobile home parks, stuff like that. Things that cash flow on day one that I could just buy with seller finance.
Back then, were you doing seller financing? So off rip, you were doing
right
finance stuff.
Yeah. So what happened was Bethany tells me when I'm working with Bethany tells me, go down to this title rep, open up your contracts with her. She'll just get everything done. And I meet this lady. Her name's Eileen Brown. She's now retired as of a year ago. And I kept her in the business an extra 10 years because I brought up her name so much so that everybody would just open up their files with her. Wow. She was like the oracle of creative finance. So I went down there. This is my first month in the business, and I open up 3 contracts and I sell them all at Bethany. I make $50,000 my first month in the business. First deal was $25K. Next one was 15. Another one was 10. And I assigned them to Bethany. Bethany is now flipping these houses. And I opened these escrow, and I didn't know what that meant, open escrow. I didn't know you could do it digitally. So I went down to the escrow office, met the people, shook their hands. I wanted to see, it's like being in your office is a magical experience. I wanted to feel that experience. So I go down there and I'm talking to Eileen. Eileen goes, who the heck are you that you got 3 contracts in your first month? Who are you?
Yeah, that's impressive.
Where are you getting your leads? I tell her. She goes, line them out on the whiteboard. So I pull out my laptop and I show her my Google sheet. And she goes, you should have 6 contracts in here. I'm like, why? Well, why? She goes, you have 20 leads. You got 3 of them. Your conversion, this is an escrow officer telling me this. It'd be like a closing attorney sitting down with you guys here going, you're not converting right. She'd been an escrow officer for 40 years, bro. She was like 67 years old. She'd be an escrow officer. So she goes, let me tell you what all my best customers are doing. They're going to all their leads that want too much money or don't have any equity. I didn't know what that meant. They're going to the ones that want too much money. They're offering seller finance, and they're going to the ones with no equity and offering sub 2. And I go, what's sub 2?
Wow.
And now it's on my hat. I got obsessed with it.
Holy smokes.
And I'm sitting there laying on the carpet of this escrow office because I was in disbelief. I was laying on the carpet. If I laid just down in the middle, it's like if your team told me, oh yeah, we're doing $60 million in revenue this month, I would want to lay down because I wouldn't believe you. It's such a big deal. What you guys are doing is such a big deal. And she tells me what sub 2 is. You can buy these people's houses, Pace, with no money out of your pocket. You just take over their mortgage. I'm like, that sounds illegal. She's like, it's not. Let me show you in the Supreme Court this, that, and the other, where it says in the IRS. She taught me where Fannie Freddie teaches people how to fill out these forms. And she shows me in a 15-hour, 1 week. I spent 15 hours with her, and she taught me everything. Yeah.
Wow.
I go back to those leads and I get 3 more contracts. Seller finance deal. My first one is a sub 2 deal. Second one is a sub 2 deal. And my third one is seller finance. Straight up, no money down, 0% interest. I still have it in my portfolio to this day. So I'm like, why does not everybody know this?
Wow.
She's like, well, I'll tell you the truth. They make the water muddy so you think it's deep. I'm like, what the heck does that mean? She says, the old men in this business don't want people to know about seller finance and sub 2 and lease options and wraparound mortgages and contract for deeds. They don't want you to know because they're picking up your dead leads and they're converting them. And so they keep it really hush hush. And if you find somebody that does a mentorship around this, it's like $50,000 to $75,000. And I'm like, okay, who are these people? She goes, you don't need these people. They all use me as their escrow officer, and I'm still teaching them how to do it, even though they're charging people $50K. Wow. I was like, how did I get so lucky to find you? Anyway, when in my book that I wrote a couple of years ago, her and Bethany were like the whole first chapter, and her business blew up. Everybody across the country calls her up and uses her. And anyway.
I love that.
So she taught me everything I knew. And anytime I ran into an issue, the escrow officer knows way more than anybody else. She's like, oh yeah, offer them this, and this is how you should structure the deal. I'm like, well, how do I handle a balloon payment? Like, what if I get a seller that wants a balloon on their seller finance deal? That's the seller wants a balloon. She goes, well, either you didn't build rapport enough. I'm like, an escrow officer's teaching me about building rapport.
Holy, she's a gangster.
She's a gangster, dude. She's a gangster.
God bless this woman.
So she teaches me, one of the first things she teaches me that was like not common knowledge in the industry. Now everybody's doing it. Obviously I have a big community, so people have learned from me, but seller says, no problem, I'll seller finance my RV park to you for $5 million. But I want a 5-year payout. In 5 years, I want you to pay me all the way off, right? A balloon. I'll give you 30-year payments, but I want a 5-year payout, meaning your payments are affordable. They're adjusted for a 30-year loan. But at 5 years, I want you to sell it, refinance me out, or pay me off in cash, right? Cool. So I go, Eileen, what do I do in that situation? She goes, oh, it's easy. Just create what's called a balloon extension clause. Like, what is that? She says, say in the paperwork that if the property does not appraise for the value that you bought it for plus 20%, that you can get an extra 5 years on the balloon in automatic defaults. I'm like, I can do that? She goes, Pace, you can do anything. The world is, so I did this thing my second year in the business. She goes, let me teach you how crazy you can be about on these contracts. So I get this deal out of Atlanta, and I have this lady, her name's Jillian, sells me a $1.3 million house. I turned it into an Airbnb for like 5 years, no money down. And Eileen goes, let's put in the documents that she has to buy you a steak dinner every time you go to Atlanta. I go, I can do that in a real estate transaction? He goes, yeah, it's a promissory note. And the terms of your promissory note are determined between you and whoever is the other party. I'm like, I can legally force her to take me to steak dinner. She goes, yep, let's put it in the document. So we put in the document.
Yeah, you did it.
Yes, we did. It's on public record. So like it's the craziest thing what you can negotiate on these seller finance deals. And so she just expanded my mind, showed me what was possible, and she gave me options. You know, I'm sure there's been times in your life where, you know, the option of doing $700 million in loans and doing acquisitions and having a freaking office like this was not the option. It wasn't even in your mind's eye to even have this idea. Somebody came into your life and gave you options that led down a pathway. Who was that for you? Who's somebody that like made a big difference for you?
Well, I got a great business partner.
Okay.
He's he constantly just wants to blow things up. Scale, higher. So, and I'm like, let's take it down a notch.
Yeah.
But he's always pushing the envelope.
But was that the thing that opened your guys' like, why did you guys partner in the first place?
Well, we always wanted to create a multi-billion-dollar company.
Okay. You're going to do that with your lending business for sure.
Yeah. And
when you guys first got together, it wasn't lending.
No, he was actually brokering loans.
Okay.
He was brokering hard money loans, and I was wholesaling houses.
Got it.
And we got together. We both wanted to do what each other...
Who got you into wholesale? Jamil Damji.
No. I mean, I was 19 and
YouTube?
I was going on like biggerpockets.com.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Started showing up to networking events. Spent 4 years trying to learn the business. What did the lady say?
She said, you could read a book about water all day long, but it ain't going to teach you to swim.
Exactly. So then I met a mentor, and I'm like, how much money do you make a year door knocking on weekends? He's like, I make about $500,000 a year. I was like, can I come door knocking with you?
You're like, show me a check for $70,000. And it's like the Wolf of Wall Street thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I started going door knocking with the guy, and I found my first deal in 2 weeks.
Isn't that amazing that you went 4 years learning, and then it took 2 weeks of earning?
Just door knocking.
Door knocking. So I tell people, anybody watching right now, you don't have the guts for it. I'm going to tell you right now, you're just a sissy. You're not going to do it. But the reality is, if you told somebody to go door knock pre-foreclosures, it's different out here a little bit, but anywhere in the country, for the most part, I shouldn't say that. Anywhere in the country, I will bet you, if you go and knock 100 pre-foreclosure doors, it's impossible for you not to find somebody that's like, I will sell my house to you right now.
Yes.
It's impossible. 100 doors.
I agree.
So I had this guy, I did this on YouTube. I go, If you can prove to me out there on YouTube land, if you can prove to me you knocked 100 doors and you come to me and you did not get a deal, I will write you a check for $10,000.
Shut up. You did that?
Yeah, I did that. So it's never happened. Nobody comes to me and says, hey, I did this thing. And the offer's still out there. So this guy's kind of a cocky guy. We become friends now, but this cocky guy, he sees me in San Diego. Now, San Diego is a challenging market. It's very similar to like Jersey and New York, right? Yeah. So he comes to me at a meetup about 2 years ago and he goes, I'm at house 96. I have 4 more houses to go and I still haven't gotten a deal. I'm like, wow, like you're sharp, you're smart, you're articulate, like you brush your teeth, you don't look like an idiot. You might be the first person I have to write a $10,000 check to. So I go, here's my cell phone number. Let's coordinate. I'll get you the $10,000 check. That day he goes and knocks his 98th door, gets a deal. He makes like $40,000.
Shut up.
I just did a podcast with him. We're releasing in a week. He's like, I almost got Pace's $10,000, but instead I got 40. But so your first deal was a foreclosure or what?
Yeah. I was going to share a sale, had a Corona t-shirt on, joggers.
So good.
Just talked to the guy. I was like, dude, don't get foreclosed on. We could make sure that you walk away with some money here.
But you didn't have that confidence at that level, right? Like you didn't say it that way. Were you timid or you've always been confident?
I've always been, the guy was just a regular dude.
Yeah.
He had a beer in his hand. I had a beer shirt on. I was like, let's just talk. And then I called my mentor. He came driving in 2 hours later, signed a contract right there on the spot.
I think that's the thing that people really need to understand. The game really is easy, but in the very beginning, you need somebody that will buy the deal. Yeah. Right? Like you had the same thing I had.
Yes.
Literally, you had a Bethany. Yes. I had a Bethany. And people hate to hear that because they're like, I want to figure it out on my own. Okay, well, you tried to figure it out for 4 years. I tried to figure it out for 7 years. Bro, I was like demoralized to my wife. Like I would tell my wife, I'm going to get into real estate. I'm going to get into real estate. I'm going to get into real estate. Men out there, you know the number one thing women want in their life? Not a good-looking guy, not a guy that's doing $700 million in loans. Every woman wants a guy that does what he says he's going to do. Integrity. Number one thing. Everything else out beyond that is a cherry on top, right? So I had gotten to the point where my wife was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, you're going to do this thing. That's the worst thing, a guy. And it was me. It was all on me. It wasn't 6 months. It wasn't a year. It wasn't 3 years of me lying. It wasn't 5 years. It was like at the 7-year mark, I could feel, oh, you're going to another meetup tonight? Oh, you're doing another thing? You're doing a da-da-da. Okay, got it. See you later. And she was just like, whatever. It's 7 years of no anything. And so I could feel that. So what did I do? I gave up. And then a year later, Bethany came into my life. Wow. And I got my first deal in 2 weeks. Same thing as you, dude.
That's crazy.
It was 2 weeks from the day Bethany told me to the day that I had a signed contract.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So how long did you knock doors?
I knocked doors while I was in corporate America for 6 months, and I picked up like 5 contracts.
Yeah,
what am I doing? Every Saturday, I was like, what am I doing? I'm going to make more money on these deals than I am working 80 hours a week in private equity.
Right.
Let me just go for it. And then the first year I was just door knocking and cold calling foreclosure. I got 26 deals.
That's impressive. Just sheriff sale.
Just sheriff sales.
Your guys' sheriff sales, you guys have a redemption period, right?
Yeah, we do.
So it's like you get the contract, you have to wait for that redemption period, all that kind of stuff. It's like 3 months or something, or you don't remember.
So
ours is 6 months. So,
6 months of redemption?
Yeah. So every state's different. I don't know what your guys' is.
I think it's a 30-day redemption period.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Like if it's 30 days, then that makes sense. Now, our sheriff sales are different than our auction sales, right? So sheriff sales are only done in Arizona if it's an HOA foreclosure or a tax lien foreclosure. Okay. If it's the mortgage that's foreclosing or the deed of trust in our state, if it's the mortgage that's foreclosing, you go through the trustee. That's a law firm. No sheriff is involved.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like courthouse steps. I buy the house. The freaking police go to that person's house the next day and they're kicking them out of the house. Like Arizona is the wild, wild west.
Wow.
Texas is even worse, bro. Like, so sheriff sales in Arizona, we stay away from them unless you're willing to wait that redemption period. But we have 6 months. You guys have 30 days.
Yeah. Very rarely do they actually redeem here.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Days, you're in and out. But
was your mentor flipping or was he keeping something?
Flipping them.
Okay.
Yeah. I would try to go to these guys before they would get foreclosed on and just be like, you have $100,000 in equity here. You have 3 weeks to take action. Like, let's do something. Let's make sure you get something here. And
knocking doors is not for the faint of heart until you have somebody backing you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a buyer that's there. You have your mentor. It's like, dude, I'm good. Like, I got the money. I got the contracts. I got the thing. I think that's the big thing. Like, shout out to Bigger Pockets. I wrote a book with them. I love them. They're amazing. But like, they're very anti-guru, which like you guys have you had an info product. They have an anti-coaching mentality of like, oh, people are selling coaching. Yeah, dude. So does Harvard. Like, Harvard also is selling education.
Yeah.
And how many people go and get a college degree that end up going, I didn't want to be in corporate America? Literally 95% of people.
Yeah.
So what really people need to understand is like, who is going to buy your first deal? So if you guys have not done your first real estate transaction, ask the question, don't ask the question, how do I get my first deal? Say, who's going to buy my first deal? And that will be your first step. Literally, that was your first step. It was my first step.
That's a good point. You have the confidence now to know that when you make an offer, it's going to stick and you could close.
I got my proof of funds.
Yeah.
I got my contract. I don't have to learn contracts.
Yeah.
You're telling me I don't have to learn contracts because your mentor is going to come down here and just get the thing done? And more importantly, I have no idea what a transaction coordination looks like. I have no idea what XYZ PDQ. I don't know what it feels like. I don't know that contracts can fall out of escrow. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. But if I have a buyer that's seasoned, is like,
walk you through the whole entire thing and just do it for you. I have a question on that.
Yeah.
You bring that up because I accidentally started doing that for my mentees.
Yeah.
Like, I just had a bunch of people from New Jersey lock up a deal under 30 days, make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And I looked back and I was like, wait a second. Everyone that got a deal in my community seemingly is in under 30 days were all New Jersey people that made a cold call, didn't know what to do. I sent one of my VPs out to go on an appointment with them. They lock it up. I put up all the money. We close the deal, and then they take a profit, and they learn the game, right? Yeah. So I was like, why don't I just open this up for every single person in my community?
Yeah.
Set up an appointment. My team will go out, lock it up. We'll handle everything, and then we'll partner on the deal, right? Is that what you've done?
It's exactly what I've done.
It's exactly what you've done.
Now, I've done it. Here's why when people say Pace has built a crazy community, this is what I've done. Okay. So like yesterday, I came in, I spoke for Aspire. I'm there with like Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. Yeah. I'm with David Goggins, and David Goggins sees me. So Pace, what's up? What are you doing? Blah, blah. I'm like, I'm going to a meetup with my community. He's like, again, with these meetups, type of thing. I spent more time with my community yesterday in Jersey than I did at the Aspire tour that I was paid to speak at.
Wow.
I use the speaking engagements to go spend time with my people. And then what I do is I build up leadership in every city.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like Jesus would with his disciples.
Yeah.
You treat it like a church. Okay. You've got the leader of the church, and then you set it up where you have apostles or the 12 apostles. And then you have people that work underneath them. And so Jesus can't touch everybody by himself. That's why he had a team, right?
Yeah.
So you go out and you get deputies, so to speak. So in every single city, I have about 100 leaders. 100. I mean, we're 30,000, bro. I better have at least 5,000 leaders. So in every like major metro, which is about, I'd say 150 major metros, I have probably on average 100 leaders. So about 30% of my community is somebody who will go, I will buy your deal. I will fund your deal. I will go on your appointment. Like, that's how big we are. And the way I cultivate that is I literally travel around the country. So like on October 15th, I leave with my wife and my kids. We pull our kids out of school, and I will go to 120 cities back to back. And I will meet 100,000 people in person, and 30,000 of those people will be my students. And I will meet them face to face, shake their hand, make sure they all get a deal. And the way I structure those meetups is I go, anybody's included. Like, even if you're not a student, come out to the meetup. They're all free. You'll have to buy a taco because we'll have a taco truck. Well, you have to buy a taco. So creativenationtour.com, check us out. I'm even going to Fargo, North Dakota, Sioux Falls, Iowa, places I never even knew existed, right?
Wow.
And what I do is I go 4 hours every night. So from 5 to 9, 5 to 7, we're doing deals. So what we do is we go, all right, we're doing direct to agent outreach. What we're going to do is we're going to find, 500 listings that have been on the market over 100 days.
500 listings that have been on
the market for over 100 days.
Okay.
So agents are in pain. They don't know what the heck to do. We'll then filter those down to low equity, which will probably be about 40% of those. So we'll have 40 houses that have no equity that have been listed for over 100 days, and we submit sub 2 offers. And what ends up happening is you have 10 teams, and all 10 teams work on those 4 houses on each team, totaling the 40. And everybody walks out with at least 1, maybe 2 contracts on every single team. So you walk away with 20 contracts in a 4-hour period. Like, think about it. They've already been on the market 100 days. You already know the game very well. They already know their client doesn't have any equity. We already know that their interest rate is 3% or lower. And we're going to them and go, let us solve your problem. Boom. The buyers are on the teams. So I'm not going to buy the deals because I don't buy in Fargo, North Dakota.
Wow.
In Fargo, let's say Chris Neer, like, I know every member that's a leader personally, right? I hang out with them, go to dinner with them, right? I'm a lunatic. So if I go to Fargo, North Dakota, I know Chris Neer and I know Preston Dahl and I know all the other leaders.
Yeah.
I will pair them up on teams where newbies that have never done a deal before will be underneath them. That is their Bethany, right? Or your mentor. And so I'll go in there, I'll create the energy, I'll stir everything up. We go very fast. We create, and we make sure that everybody in the community does a deal. And the way we make sure they do that is we pair them up with somebody that's going to go on the appointment or do the thing or has the proof of funds or, the same way you're doing it.
Wow.
Now, how you cultivate that is hard because, like, being Jesus ain't easy. The Jesus of real estate or whatever you want to call it. Going and leading a team is not easy. Leading a team is not easy. Leadership is sacrifice. And the sacrifice is I got to take my personal time, taking care of myself a lot of times to make sure that I go out and I do the hard thing. So, for example, like, if you went out to your lending team right now and you slanged deals all day long for a week and you set the new record for the team, would your team perform better or worse?
Probably better.
Way better, right? Because the leader who they look up to is like, this is what's possible.
Yeah.
So I have to go out in person. This is the thing that the algorithm can't do, YouTube can't do, Instagram can't do. I have to go in person and go, we do 39 Zooms a week in sub 2, 14 hours a day of live support every single day for lifetime. But the number one thing is the way you and I got our first deals. And so the way I set up sub 2 was, hey, we can do all the things that everybody else is doing, but the one thing that was the difference for me is that somebody was face to face with me. I could smell their freaking breath, Bethany. And she made sure she was on the appointment with me signing the contracts, right? And it's the same thing. If you just tell your LOs, right? You tell your dudes down here, go sell a loan, and they've never done it before, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So why would you do that for these guys, but not? So you did a great job. No other educator does that. They're like, watch the videos.
I did it it was by accident. I was like, this works.
It does.
It's incredible what you've done, by the way.
It's hard.
It is it's very, very hard. So you go out. I think this is what makes your community really special is that I don't know my slogan was, if we'll hold your hand, but if you're not keeping up with us holding your hand, we're going to drag your ass to the finish line.
Yeah.
And that for like 9 months of my life, I literally did like 9 one-on-ones with every student, every single day, just because I was like, we got to make sure everyone succeeds. And then it started to grow a little too fast. And I was like, I can't do one-on-ones for the rest of my life. As much as I loved the one-on-ones. They were one of the most rewarding things. I'd be praying with the students. I'd be giving them life advice. We'd be talking shop, and everyone would consistently make progress. And then it just came to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I got other businesses that make way more money. The return. My hourly rate isn't there.
It's actually irresponsible for you to do it if you think about it. So it's like, I can hear it in your voice. The same thing with me is like, why I don't do a lot of one-on-ones is because it's not responsible for you to do one-on-ones. Why? Because you have a team of people that have families, they have wives, they have people that are relying on them to make good decisions. And that one of those decisions was to work for you, which means they are relying on you to make good decisions, which is not putting all your time and energy into one-on-ones that doesn't make them money. Right. So balancing that is really, really hard. The big difference for me is that Jersey is not, for your situation, Jersey is like your market. I'm nationwide. So for me, I can buy RV parks, multifamily, mobile home parks, businesses. I'll build 5,000 car washes in the next 10 years.
That's crazy.
It'll be a $20 billion valuation.
Wow.
Yeah. That's my big thing is I just partnered with a gentleman who just sold. He sold 4 companies to Warren Buffett in 2016 for $7.7 billion. Him and I are partnering on car wash development.
Sick.
For every 100 car washes you build, you're valued at $1 billion. Right?
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy. So think about this.
What's it cost to build a car wash?
The cost is, it's $3 million if I was going to do it with cash, but the way I'm doing it is with creative finance. So I get the land under contract, option it. I go to the developer partners with us on the development. He gets paid more for getting paid late, if that makes sense. So he comes in with his lines of credit. He does the development. We stabilize it. Then we go get a refinance. Maybe I'll use your lending company. Maybe you guys can create a product for me. And we'll refinance after we're stabilized and we're in the deal for no money out of pocket.
No money out of pocket, but your total basis is like $5 million now. With
Our total basis on the loan is about $5 million.
$5 million.
But our cost of acquisition, development, all that stuff, we're about $3 million.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Out of pocket, almost $0.
Zero
Your
dollars.
equity multiple is like insane.
It's infinite. Infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're making $50 million on 100 car washes.
I'm making $500
million on 100 car washes that you came out $0 for.
And then the cool thing is, like, I'll go to I go to my students and I go, hey, I will give you 10% of this car wash for bringing the land to me. So I teach them the creative finance. So they go negotiate the land. They go to the seller and go, hey, seller, you want this? You have this half acre for sale for $300,000. We'll pay you $400,000, but we want to pay you in 24 months.
This is insane.
Yeah, it's creative finance. It's like forcing somebody to take me to a steak dinner in Atlanta, Georgia. So they go tell the seller, hey, we'll pay you 25% over list, but we want you to give us 24 months to pay you. No interest, because we're bundling it all involved. We'll give you $400,000. They subordinate. We bring in our development partner.
He brings the first lien, construction financing, builds it out.
Yep, and I'm not bringing any of that stuff to the table. He builds it out, and what does he want? He's the developer. So what he wants is me to not nickel and dime him on pricing, and he wants to throw an extra $100,000 of cost in there so I don't have to bring any money to the table. So it's crazy.
It's brilliant.
It's the smart way to do
brilliant.
it. Yeah, so think about this. If I can develop those anywhere, then I'm not relegated to one market. No. I can be in any market at any time. So for you, in order to do that with your mentees, there's 2 ways for you to do that. You either find leaders in every market that it benefits them. Yeah. To go, hey, Todd, you're in Houston. I don't buy in Houston. You're in Houston. I'm going to make you the leader. Yeah. I'm going to let everybody go work with you and bird dog deals to you. Like, we hung out with April Elias yesterday. Shout out to April. April's my leader in Philly. She drove up from Philly to hang out. And she goes, I bought 4 deals last week just from newbies that joined Sub 2. I bought 4 deals from them because they bring me deals. They don't know what to do with them. I close on them. Now she's doing crazy stuff that I normally wouldn't do. Like I would normally just pay my newbie a $5,000 or $10,000 fee. I'd go flip the property. April's like, you bring me a flip, I'll fund it, run it, do everything, and I'll split it with you 50-50.
Wow.
So some of these newbies are making 50 G's, bro.
That's incredible.
It's cool. It's really cool.
Oh, that's incredible for them.
But I make no money on those transactions. So what's challenging is, like, how can I benefit from the overall ecosystem to justify taking time away from my DSCR lending business?
Yeah.
The way I justify is I go, what's the asset class I want to build as fast as possible? And for me, that's car washes and RV parks. And I just have them bird dog land to me, and I give them 8% ownership of that car wash. So they bring me the land, they get paid no money until we're stabilized and cash flowing. They get a check for like $3,500 a month for about 2, 3, 4 years. And then we exit, they'll get a check for $400,000 just for finding the land.
That's absurd.
Bro, it's stupid. So when you hear people like, oh, Pace's community is insane, it's because I've strategically planned ways that I can make money. Like, you look at, like, one of my info products loses $20,000 a month, but I still run it. Why? Because I make way more money with my students than
community.
Yes.
The value that they get and you get from just being awesome.
It's the greatest.
Holy smokes.
It's lunacy. Like,
dude, my partner was just telling me about this. He goes, it's all about the community. It's all about the community. He goes, we just haven't figured out how to create the community where everyone feeds off the ecosystem.
Spend a day with me in my Phoenix office and you'll see how I set it up, and you'll just be like, this is the most insane thing on the planet.
Wow.
Now, how do I scale my DSCR loan company? I have 30,000 people that use my DSCR loan line. Like I just go, hey guys, I'll fund all your deals. I'll do all your deals. I'll even do your private money. I'll do the first lien position with my DSCR loan company. I'll even go in second lien position if I'm named on the LLC. Or it won't even be a second. I know this is over some people's heads. If the product I'm selling off, right? I'm selling my loan off.
Yeah.
And the person buying that doesn't want to see a second lien behind it. I just name myself on the LLC that if they ever default, I take the whole asset over. So I'm protected.
Yeah.
Essentially, I'm in a stronger position than I would be if I was in first lien position. Right? The owner is in a stronger position than first lien position.
Yeah.
Right? So I just position myself on the operating agreement saying, if you default, I take over the whole entire LLC. So I've got this safety and security. I'll give them first lien, DSCR, and I'll come in and bring second lien at like 18, 19, 20%. There's stupid money in that. Private money lending is, as you already know,
it's a great business.
It's a great business. And what it is like what was our biggest hurdle when we first jumped in business or the real estate side? Where does the money come from? You became the answer. Like, think about how cool that is, dude. You became the answer.
Yeah.
Like, to your biggest problem, you became the answer. Where does the money come from?
Yeah.
Well, right here. I built a whole entire organization here. You guys have done a freaking great job, dude.
It's pretty cool. Eric's not here right now, but he's done a great job for sure.
Eric, you've done a great job, dude. We're proud of you.
But the real money is in the community. Like, becoming a bigger, like what you have right now is better than Bigger Pockets, without a question.
Hey, Bigger Pockets, I love you, but I took their lunch a long time ago.
Yeah, what you've built is incredible. We're trying to figure out how to do something like that.
They're a forum, right? Like I'll tell you my experience with Bigger Pockets when I was a Bigger Pockets user. The people on Bigger Pockets in the forums are freaking rude. They're hateful. They're licensed people that are pissed off that non-licensed people are making a bunch of money. And there are a bunch of people using traditional real estate thinking they know more than anybody else. Guys, great. You've been in business for 30, like they'll go out of their way to spend all their time telling you how long they've been in business. Congratulations. You went to kindergarten 30 years in a row. Like, you telling me you're an agent for 30 years tells me you've been in the business 27 years longer than you should have been. Like, nobody should be an agent for 30 years. Okay. And it's just, I mean, do you not agree with that? Like, it's time to graduate from kindergarten. Okay. So my experience with Bigger Pockets is they were always rude to me in the forums. And they would say, we're the Bigger Pockets community. No, you're not. You're a Bigger Pockets forum. Who's the leader of your community? Where does the tone come from? Anytime they have an influencer on that platform that gets too much power, they get rid of them. Brandon Turner, David Green, Rob Abasolo. I could keep going on.
I didn't know. I thought there was like an amicable, they just booted them.
With no warning. Rob Abasolo is one of the smartest, funniest, most entertaining guys on the planet. They got rid of Jamil. Jamil had just launched his wholesaling book with them, and he was starting to get a ton of love and a ton of whatever else. And it's
man.
Well, we can't, what are they fearful of? They're fearful of Brandon Turner 2.0. Brandon Turner was so good for Bigger Pockets.
Dude, Brandon was the reason I got into real estate.
So why would you ever let that guy leave? Why would you ever let that guy leave? Even have him come back and maybe be a board member, whatever else. It's because a private equity company bought Bigger Pockets and they lost their soul. A lot of people don't know this, that Bigger Pockets has been purchased by multiple private equity companies. Like, it's exchanged hands 2 or 3 times. Who even know? I don't even know who the owner is anymore. But I do know that there's incredible people there that are just missing community. They're missing actual connection. And there needs to be a vibration of culture. Telling me you have a web page where people go on there and bash each other and make fun of wholesalers is not a great way. And even David Green, I've teased him about this a little bit, but even David Green on Bigger Pockets would go, wholesaling is basically borderline illegal. First off,
not even close.
Not even remotely close. Yeah. It's so ill-informed, right? And so they just hate wholesalers. They hate the off-market thing. And I'm like, do you know that most fix and flippers buy their deals from wholesalers? Like, I don't know where. That just tells me you're not doing much business if you don't understand how important a wholesaler is to a local market.
Oh, I haven't listened to a Bigger Pockets podcast in a long time. Oh,
is
that like, how it's gone?
They won't talk about creative finance.
Dude, they taught me about creative finance. Brandon Turner came out with the book, How to Buy properties with little to no money down. The yellow book.
He was
my first real estate book.
He was Bigger Pockets. And he's a good friend of mine. I love him. I think Rob Abasolo is probably one of the most entertaining. Anyway, Bigger Pockets, I think can be revived if somebody comes in and steps in with some soul and like actually connects with people.
Yeah.
It's like, you go to church. What do you love about your church? Like, Jesus is cool. So let's put Jesus to the side. Do you have a great pastor or minister?
Just a community in that.
But who's leading it?
I got a great pastor. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the key. Yeah. Who's leading it? Where's the tone going? What is that person doing to forge it ahead? What ideas? It's just like you. The culture of this company depends on you. It's not the product. It's you and your partner. Actually, do you guys have a great culture here? Okay. So just because you have a company doesn't mean you have culture. And so when you're building a community, it comes down to the same thing. It's the impossible stuff, the non-scalable thing. So like, how do you scale the unscalable? Right? You have already hit the resistance of like, crap, how do I stretch myself? Well, dude, you're an amazing leader. What did Jesus do?
Disciples.
He created disciples. And so all you have to do, I hate to turn this into a religious podcast, but we did pray at the beginning. So, I guess it already was. So what you've guys got to do is go, what is the asset type you want to go and scale that would be national? So you give your students nationally the ability to do deals with you no matter what, okay? We did in sub 2, we did over $10 billion in transactions. I only did 100 million of them. So it's less than 1%. So 99% of transactions are not happening with me. However, I am still participating at a significant level. I set the tone. There's always an opportunity that any student in the whole entire community can do a deal with me, but I'm on a very specific asset type that they're not all focused on. The beautiful thing about creative finance is you can do anything. So we buy businesses. We even had somebody buy a train depot the other day. They buy hotels. They buy RV parks, mobile home parks, apartment buildings like crazy, single family, co-living, Airbnb. So like, you want to learn something in real estate, our creative finance community obviously does it. So I am only on one of the 100 niches. I'm one, but I'm nationwide. So now my students have the ability to submit deals to me and do those deals with me. And I do it in a way, it's like, I will fund the land. I will do the construction. I will run the management. I will handle the branding. I will launch the product. I will get the recurring revenue going. I will stabilize it and qualify for the loan for the stabilization. I will then start sending you a monthly check for the 8% that you own. And then when we exit that deal, you'll get a check for the exit of the 8% you own. You'll get a check for $400,000.
So you've basically found an operator in a specific asset class that knows how to own, run, and operate specific niche things across the country.
I also have a traveling asset manager named Heidi Silva, student. So they think about this too. If you really wanted to build a strong community, recruit people from your community that are better on your team than they would be on their own. On their own, yeah. And one of the only ways to figure that out is go build that out. Now I'm a lunatic, so like
you are a lunatic. I've never met a man more committed to his community than you in my entire life. So
it's crazy. Like last night we were in Hoboken and 300 people out there till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night.
I wish I knew about this. I would have been there.
Every one of these people, I take photos with them, which I don't care about the photo. They do. We get past the photos and I talk to every single one of them. I know Shanice she's a woman married to another woman. She's worried about what's going on with her wife. I'm talking to Gabriel. Gabriel has a problem with his minister, blah, 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 blah. I'm understanding everybody's situation. One, it makes me sharper on educating them. Two, I can create products and services that actually brings value to them, right?
Wow.
And then I can also go, what lender are you guys using? Why aren't you using my company? Oh, well, your girls didn't get back to me. Oh, thank you. Live feedback. That's good. Oh, well, this person charges 1 point. You charge 2. Okay, well, I'm not going to change that. You keep going with that idiot that's willing to do it for 1 point.
Yeah.
But you want to build a community that will actually, you can benefit them. Are there crappy lenders out there, crappy DSCR lenders?
Ton.
Okay, so you have a responsibility to get your product out to the masses, right? Because there's people being underserved. So why not just build your market?
Wow.
Now for us, what we're doing is here's the next thing for us. This is cool, and it's going to take us another 2 years. I'm going away from community.
What do you mean by that?
I'm going to another level that's never talked about. Nobody's ever talked about it. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I brought community to real estate. Nobody was talking about Alex Hermosi sends me a text like 4 years ago, and he's like, you hacked the system, bro. You figured out what people really need. They really need community. So he goes and buys school, and he starts calling them school communities. I'm like, Alex, a school community is not a community. That's called an HOA because they're getting billed every single month, bro. Like, so you want a community, they got to pay a one-time fee. They're in for life. And why would you kick them out, by the way? That's how I built mine. If somebody learns from me, are they going to be better or worse in 2 years?
Better.
Way better.
Yeah.
Why would I ever want that person to leave? They will buy the deals from the person that joins today. So why would I ever want to have a monthly recurring model if I'm actually building a real community?
Right.
This person joined, they paid their dues, they're in. Now the reason they get to stick around because they're providing value backwards.
Yeah.
They're a disciple, right? They're helping the new people. They're bringing people into the fold. So for us, we are building an economy that you join. You get your lenders, you get your deals, you get your partners, you get your TCs, you get your anybody you want to recruit for lead management, anything. You get everything you want all in the same exact platform. And it's a social system. So like, let's say that I do a deal and I'm a student. If I join your community right now, can I go in there and find a student that's done a deal in the last week with verifiable HUDs that's been uploaded into a platform? He has social proof that other students have done deals with him. The answer is no, it doesn't exist. So I'm building that. I'm building a thing where a student can join in New Jersey or anywhere in the country, Fargo. They type in Fargo, pulls up every student in Fargo. Then they filter by multifamily. Then it distills down to the multifamily people. Then it goes to the people who have done deals in the last 6 months. And it goes, here's the people who have done deals in the last 6 months. And this person's currently hiring. I'm building a full-on economy.
Smokes.
Yeah. I will when I say bigger pockets, I'm coming for your lunch.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
And here's the cool thing. You learn, let's say you join Sub2 or, in your community, this is just an idea for you. I want everybody to build communities, not forums. I don't want people doing the crap that they did in the past. I got burned by educators in the past that charged me $50,000 and had no deliverables that were actually helpful. They're not bad people. They just had a bad model. The right model is what you were doing, bro. Like holding their hands, doing the thing and loving on people. That's the right model. It sucks. Being a leader sucks, dude.
It does, yeah.
But you are a leader. You're a phenom, right? You and your partner are phenoms, and you have this insane calling to go and change people's lives. You know that. You've known that for a long time. So, and by the way, again, Bigger Pockets, I love you so much. And I think what will happen is Bigger Pockets will reinvent and they'll see the error in the way of not building actual community. Yeah. But what's going to happen is in less than 12 months, you will start hearing me talk about I'm the Sub2 economy. Meaning you join, there's not a single thing you can't find within 30 seconds. And it's not just find, it's verifiable. Do you have students that borrow money from each other in your community? I'm sure it's happening.
Yeah, I'm sure it's happening. I'm not aware of it. I'm not tracking.
Cool. So we are aware of it. I encourage it, but we have like safety course and ethics course and stuff to make sure that they're doing it the right way. We're creating a social system where it's like, if I want to raise money in the community, I will have badges and awards that say, I've paid my lenders back. Here's a video uploaded from my lender that says this person pays their money back. Here's the proof. Wow. So now what you'll do is you'll create a points-based system that shows people like, here's the most vetted borrowers. So it creates a gamification. And then once a year, whoever hits 100,000 points in my community gets invited out to like Tony Robbins' house or something cool like that. And I'll go spend $1 million creating this special event for them, for the people that earned rewards. Guess what it costs them? Nothing. What it does is it brings deals to me. It brings loans to me, and it is a full-on economy. So wow. I will take over all of real estate in less than 3-4 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And you guys are welcome to copy everything I do.
We're gonna try our very best.
People certainly will. People with a good heart should be doing it, right? Like, I'm sure before you were the creative director, I'm sure you worked for people that you didn't like working with, right? Cool. So like, think about how you've changed people's lives, dude. Like, you deserve to go. People deserve for you to go bigger.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna side with your partner and say, let's go triple this whole thing.
Sometimes you gotta slow down a little bit.
You do. And what about? So you have kids?
No.
Why not?
I just turned 30.
How long have you guys been together?
A little over a year and a half.
Okay, good.
Year and a half.
All right, cool.
She's the best. She's the best. But she doesn't want kids. She doesn't want kids for another like 4 years. I'm gonna have to freeze my sperm.
Well, tell me.
Vámonos.
Yeah.
Vámonos, mi amor.
Is she
I'm
Hispanic?
trying to pop these kids out. What's that?
She Hispanic?
She's Hispanic. Yeah. She's 24. She's a little younger.
Oh
than
yeah,
me.
she's young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So.
cool. Here's the thing. You are ready for kids. It makes sense that she's not quite ready for kids. My wife and I didn't have kids, so she was 32 and I was 36. So like, you got time.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. So half Asian, half Hispanic.
Yeah.
Good for you, bro.
Yeah. I'm the black sheep of the family.
Okay, you're the one Asian that shows up to a Dominican party, dude.
Koreans are the most racist people on planet Earth.
Oh, Korea. I lived in Korea for a couple of years.
Did you?
Yeah, I was a missionary for 2 years in Korea. That's where I learned how to knock doors.
I
speak and write Korean, yeah.
No, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, not as well as I used to.
Wow.
I was a translator for years.
You lived in Korea and door knocked as a missionary.
Yeah, I knocked
2 years.
I knocked 89,000 doors in Korea to sell Jesus door to door. In Korea, I lived in Seoul. I still haven't been to like Busan. I haven't been all the way down there, but like
89,000 doors.
Yeah. Documented, verified, 89,000 doors. You know how many people I baptized from knocking doors? 0. But I kept doing it anyway. I baptized people, it was interesting like what I did. It actually kind of shows up in the way I build my community. So the way I baptized 18 people in Korea, Koreans are really hard. Like they're so ultra Catholic or they're Buddhist, right? So like having them convert to Mormonism, I'm a Mormon, is a big deal, right? And although we believe in Christ and we're Christian, it's like, you all aren't Christian. Like, yeah, we are. We believe Christ is the Redeemer. We believe in Christ's sacrifice for us. We believe all the same things y'all believe in.
Yeah.
We just have some other weird beliefs. Like Joseph Smith found some golden things in New York City and some other weird stuff. But we believe in the King James Bible. We believe all the same stuff. Anyway, so I baptized 18 people, but the way I baptized those people is I went to active members of the church and I was like, hey, how do we get the energy of this? We call our churches wards. What do you guys call your church?
You call them wards?
Yeah, like I go to my ward building. My ward meets at this time. My ward members, my fellow ward members. What do you guys call yours?
Just church members.
Your congregation?
Congregation,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
That would be
So we also use the word congregation, but we use the word called ward. Okay, like because we have one church and 5 different wards meet at that same church at different times.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I would go to the ward. I go, how do we get the vibration up? And they're like, oh, I don't know. Like there's a lot of members that have left in the last couple of years and it's just not as fun. This person left and that person left and blah, blah, blah. I go, cool. Do you have a list of all the members in the town? I'm going to go knock all their doors. I'm going to invite them to come back out. I'm going to reactivate existing members. So I would go out and knock on the existing doors of members that got baptized a year ago or 2 years ago and go, hey, I'm new to the ward. I'm the new missionary in the ward. We have a basketball game on Monday. I'd love to have you come out to basketball. So I would trick people from basketball to get back into Jesus.
Yeah.
Because that's what works. Yeah. People want friends. They want to be connected.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is I just started getting referrals. People are like, dude, I'm going to bring my friend to the basketball game on Monday.
Wow.
And I baptized everybody through basketball.
Wow.
Yeah. Not even knocking doors. But here's what was interesting about, guys, he hasn't done a podcast in a year, so don't judge me for talking about whatever the hell I want to talk about.
Just go for it. Yeah, it's fun.
So what was interesting is if I stop, so I'm not getting any baptisms from knocking doors, right?
Yeah.
I'm 20 years old. I'm in Korea, barely speaking Korean. And it wasn't until Elder Chun, one of my missionaries, he did not speak English, and I was paired up with a guy that was born in Korea, only spoke Korean, refused to say a word to me in English. He forced me to get really good at Korean.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's like biblical Korean. Anyway, whatever.
Oh, the hard Korean.
It's the hard crap. Yeah. So I kind of talk like an idiot. So we would go knock doors, and then we would see zero success from knocking doors.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what would happen is, all of a sudden, I'd quit. I'd go, I'm not going to knock doors anymore. I'm going to go focus on the one thing that brings in baptism, which is reigniting the community.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'd go focus on this, and then baptisms would go to 0. It was like the Lord told me, you need to be grinding every day and showing me that you're worthy of these blessings. And so anytime I paused door knocking, which I never baptized out of 89,000 doors, never baptized one time. Wow. It was just a great lesson for me. So like, you got to chop wood and carry water every freaking day.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure that there's times where like your guys might question something, or maybe when the events you guys go to, it's weird how you'll be blessed with the weirdest outside things because you're doing the thing you know you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And you think, oh, well, I should deviate and go focus on these things. Your lending company could be an example. Like, we go to an event, we're with our cowboy hats, we're the wild guys, blah, 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 blah. But it wasn't somebody at the event that maybe uses your lending company. It might be a referral to a such and such that makes a deal happen or something, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know the perfect example for you guys, but I just learned, like, whatever the KPI is that the Lord tells me I need to be doing, I'm going to do it every day because I know that the blessings I'm getting from this other angle are coming as a reward from doing this thing.
What is your number one KPI?
Currently?
Yeah.
It depends. I have 9 companies. The number one KPI, the number one obsession I have that I'm driving for that like gets me up in the morning is I have a team of women that run most of my companies and I want all of them to retire. And so for me, if every deal I buy, I put 20% into an employee pool and I give them shadow equity, which means if you leave or you get fired during that time period, you lose your equity. So stick around, do your job. Let's go drive the company forward. But as that 20% matures, that goes into a pool for anybody that sticks around. And so they vest at like 5-7 years.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of them are single moms that like I had a lady, her husband died, cool. Other ladies that they're whatever happened to them in their lives. I'm like, I want to retire you.
Can you explain that to me a little bit more?
Yeah.
So you got
let's say I buy an RV park. Okay. I buy an RV park for $5 million. I'm buying my stuff on creative finance. So we need to talk about how I got I didn't get a loan. Obviously the seller financed it to me. $5 million. That's my basis in the deal.
Yeah.
20% of that would be $1 million.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm doing to them is I'm saying, hey, as this asset appreciates and goes up in value, you guys they get 20% of the cash. Okay. Cash flow that's coming in. And they get 20% of the future appreciation. So let's say it goes from 5 million to 10 million over the next 15 years. They split, they get an extra $1 million in the pool on top of the cash flow.
Does it only it
only vests if they stick around.
If they stick around.
Yep. So
what if
smallest is 5 years.
Okay.
If they quit on 4 years, 355 days, they lose all of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like, this is why we call it shadow equity. They don't have a document saying they have it other than an agreement saying that there's a possibility for me to do this for you. Mm-hmm. And so it's not that I need to hold them hostage. It's just that I'm telling them
it's only fair.
There's a greater reward for you here because I'm building something. And at the end of the day, like I was with Gary Vee this morning. He was talking about a friend of his that made $132 million on this one deal. And he was upset that he didn't hold on to it another 2 years because he would have made $400 million. And I'm like, okay, at some point, whether you're worth $300 million or $8 billion, your life really is not going to change that much.
I agree.
So for me, I look at it and I go, my mission needs to be more about the people that have not achieved what I've achieved. And so that's what keeps me driven and understanding how do I retire these girls by actually buying real estate. And if that's my number one KPI, guess what happens? I buy real estate. Where do I buy the real estate from? My community, which then makes me want to push hard on my community to be successful. And it all trickles up to that one goal.
Yeah.
So whatever your guys' goal on buying real estate is, or doing loans, create that KPI and have it reverse engineer into how do we grow this community and benefit other people's lives? Because at the end of the day, you weren't here. I know you're Korean, so you love money. Okay. I know you love money. But at the end of the day, what were you born to do? You were born to freaking change people's lives. Yeah. So go change. Here, what's cool is change these people's lives in your community. They all make more money by the more focus you have. That money trickles down to your team. You and your partner take 80% of it. Give 20% of it away. What do you care?
Yeah.
Make all these guys rich.
Yeah.
Make it like Wolf of Wall Street 2 up in here. Like everybody in here wearing Rolexes and stuff.
Kind of have that vibe going on. Our mission statement is creating millionaires through real estate.
Yeah.
And it starts with the people that are here right now, our investors, our community, our borrowers. And we're getting close. We're doing it every day. We're chipping away. Yeah. We sell deals to people.
Dude, you're 30. I got my first deal at your age.
That's wild.
You are 12, 15 years ahead of me, dude. Like, think about what you will accomplish. I look at guys like Grant Cardone, good friend of mine, been on the TV show a couple of times. Dean Graziosi, these guys that are 55, Dean's 56, Grant is 67, dude.
Grant's killing it, man. He looks good.
When did he buy his first multifamily deal? He was 52.
Really?
Tell me you are not winning.
Put that into perspective.
Put that into perspective. Get a couple of these guys as your heroes and just look at them and go, if I have accomplished that by his age, I feel like I will have won. But then realize that you are 12 years ahead of me already. Maybe even more. Right? You and your partner are so far ahead, dude. Oh my gosh. You won't be Grant Cardone's age for 37 more years. Literally 2.5 times your age.
That's wild.
And look what you got, dude.
Yeah, praise the Lord.
Yes, guys. I don't know where you're putting this, YouTube or wherever you're putting this, but give this man some freaking love. And what's the name of your guys' community?
Deals and Dollars Academy.
Deals and Dollars Academy.
I feel really inspired with what you taught me today. I'd love to.
I feel inspired. I wish I could jump in a time machine and jump back to 30 and know what you know, dude. Like, are you kidding me?
I appreciate that.
Thank you for the time, man. This
Thank you,
This
man.
has been fun.
Thank you.